Does being stoned improve your sex life? Feelings we commonly associate with being stoned are giggliness and a sense of calm. And although it's not often talked about, loads of people also report getting horny as hell after smoking weed. It's a very welcome side effect for most, but there is some debate over whether it actually helps or hinders your sex life. After all, whether it's drink, drugs, or even caffeine, everybody reacts differently to different substances. One study, published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine, found that those who smoked marijuana reported having around 20% more sex than those who didn't. While those figures were part of a survey, meaning people might have not always given the most truthful answers, the researchers stated that it did go some way to proving that marijuana did not have any negative impact on sexual function. An amalgamation of previous research by universities in Italy and the Czech Republic has also found that roughly half the people who had been studied reported aphrodisiac effects after smoking, and about 70% experiencing increased sexual pleasure while high. However, many of those studies were completed in the 70s and 80s. More seasoned stoners will be used to the terms sativa and indica. They're different strains of weed, with sativa affecting the mind more, and indica producing more of a body high. It has been suggested that as pot gets stronger, and strains contain more THC, like an indica strain, it can negate those sexual feelings. Currently, there is little more than anecdotal evidence on either side, and until scientific studies focus on the issue, that's all we have. However, with legalization and decriminalization in many parts of the U.S., marijuana farmers are starting to be able to test and hone their product to create a different result. Cannabis review site Leafly even has a list of specific types people can choose to get ready for Valentine's Day, and a low-THC strain called s.ex has been invented by growers to get people in the mood, and help women orgasm. The University of California found that when mice were given marijuana, they had increased production of the bonding hormone oxytocin, which is also released when we hug each other. They came to the conclusion that there's a link between cannabis and the so-called love hormone, which may be ideal if you're getting high with your partner. Many people find that their biggest barrier to orgasm is self-conscious thoughts or a kind of mental block that stops them being in the moment. That's where weed comes in, and for people who become more chilled out when they're high, they can forget their troubles and focus on the good stuff. Like with alcohol, it seems that the negative effects mostly come around when you go a bit too hard. There's no use wasting the calming and arousing effects of smoking if you can't actually do the deed afterwards. Sales of erectile dysfunction medication massively increase in the run-up to Christmas. Talking about food on your dating profile makes you more attractive. And number 039, I legit thought we were going to fight. And number 039, 7 people share their worst first date stories. Nobody likes a lazy lover, so if you're using weed in the act, try and go for a strain that focuses more on stimulating your mind. Also, try to lay off the Snoop Dogg-sized blunts, because you won't be impressing anyone when you're plastered to the bed unable to thrust if your life depended on it. There are ways to introduce cannabis into your sex life, but it is still illegal in the UK, so I couldn't possibly recommend them. More. Owner of Corona Beer is about to start producing cannabis-infused drinks. More, are mismatched sex drives a relationship deal breaker?